Good evening, all. The students are joining in, so we'll start exactly at 7:05. So I request please inform your friends as well to join the session as soon as possible. So we'll start exactly at 7:05. Okay. So we have 4 more minutes. We'll wait for 4 more minutes, then we'll start the session. Okay, we will start for the day. Good evening, sir. I hope my voice is audible.
Good evening. Yeah, I think my
Yeah,
voice is also audible for everyone.
yes, sir. It is audible.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can start the session, sir.
Yeah, sure. Okay, we'll start sessions. Yeah. Yeah, okay. So hi everyone. Just a minute. I'll just turn on my camera. Uh, yeah. Hi. Good evening. Yeah, and I hope my screen is visible for everyone. Okay. So yesterday we saw the basic things. Actually, what is cybersecurity and just Yeah. So yesterday we saw that what is cybersecurity and why company needs cybersecurity. So and what and all the opportunities are there in cybersecurity. Opportunity in the sense the domain. So we have different domains for Android application security testing. Then we have web application. Then we have API, thick client, thin client. So this and all come under the VAPT, I mean penetration testing activity. So there's one more team called red team. Then we have blue team. So we saw that different teams are there. So from that we'll just continue to the next level. Okay. So yeah. So we see what is penetration testing. And what is the difference between penetration testing and vulnerability assessment? Because we have one more concept called VA. Okay, so mostly in once the organization hired as a penetration tester, so we do VA and PT. Okay, so VA in the sense vulnerability assessment, PT is penetration testing. So both having there is some differentiation. Okay, so when we are working as a vulnerability assessment or vulnerability assessment team, we use some sort of tool to perform the scanning, and we check is there is any vulnerable for that particular target system. Okay, so the reason why we are going with the vulnerability assessment and penetration testing and which one is the better to perform. So that everything I will explain. Okay, so vulnerability assessment in the sense we consider, okay, so this is our system. Okay, we consider this is our target. Okay, so and this is my system, my PC. Like we can consider it this PC as a I mean security engineer PC. Okay, so what security engineer will do? Security engineer will connect the system in the same network. Okay, so we have a Wi-Fi. Both system will connect in the same network. Okay, and in this system we install the tool called Nessus, or we have Qualys. Okay, so we have different sort of tools to perform the vulnerability assessment activity. Okay, so we install those tools, Nessus or else Qualys. Any one is fine. So once we install, what we do here, so we do some configuration. Okay, in that configuration, I will just mention this target system IP address. Okay, because IP address will help to communicate in the network over the network. If I want to communicate from one system to another system, sure I need IP address. Okay, so that's why I'm going to give the IP address in this tool. The second thing is like username and password of this system. Okay, so username and password. So mostly we give the admin username password because if you are using your system, okay, that's fine. Mostly we have the admin access. But once you are into the organization level, so you have the login, username, password, everything. But that username will not have admin privileges. Mostly that will be a, like a low level privilege. So you have one certain permission to access some files. Okay, so you can access only for folders. Then you have access only for the browsers, and you can access only specific site. So likewise they will write some rules to secure the target system, I mean secure this system. Okay, so that time we need to request the admin permission. So once we have the admin username password, what this tool will do, this tool will log in inside this system. Okay, and check each and every folders. Okay, is there is any outdated version is there, outdated version is there, or else is there is any misconfiguration. So this type of things will check by um, this Nessus tool. So misconfiguration in the sense, I'll give one example. What is meaning of the misconfiguration? Um, just a minute. I'll just open the browser. Yeah. So we have a site demo.testify.net. So this is a sample site. Okay. So here we have the online bank login. Okay. Sorry, I'll just clear all the diagram. Okay, so we have the login page here. So we feel that okay, once we have the login page, then no one can able to access the data without login. I mean the sensitive data like banking. I mean some user credentials, password, whatever is the sensitive, they keep begin the login. Okay, so they feel that okay, this is fine. Nothing is, no one can able to bypass this. But what sometimes will happen, so we use the default credential called admin and admin. Okay, well, that will help to log in into that account. Okay, because we do everything in a secure way, but the misconfiguration is like, so missed out some basics things like this. So like changing the credentials, or else we use 123 as a password, 456 as a password. So that we need to check. So this and all the things called misconfiguration. Just this is like a overview. Okay, I'm showing that overview, what is meaning of the misconfiguration, but everything we see in the deeper. So what or other things we can, other things are called as misconfiguration. Okay, that we'll see one by one. So in later on sections, we'll see about that. Okay. Sorry. Yeah, so that nessus tool will help to log in into the system, and it will do some basics checks like outdated, and is there is any misconfigurations or there or not. So the reason why we are asking for the admin credential, you can ask, okay, so instead of admin credential, admin username password, I can directly request that normal user is also fine to perform the scan, right? But the normal user having only certain level to access the entire system. Okay, so even though if we take my system, so I'll just open the control panel here. Okay, see, there is a user account. Okay, so user account, you can see here. So my user is called administrator. Okay, so you can check your system as well. Sometimes we can see there's one more account called administrator. There will be one more user. Okay, so what I did for my system, I just give the complete admin permission for my account, my name. Okay, so here I just change like that. But sometimes what happen, you see one more account called administrator. Your account is called normal. We consider it as a super user. You have only some level of permissions. Okay, but you can't access complete C folder because so only admin can able to access the entire C folders. Okay, so we have a this PC, we have C folders, right? So if the normal user having some restriction to access the complete C folder. Okay, so if you are an admin user, so if you are having the complete permission, directly you can get into the C folder and you can check all the files. So whatever folders are there, each and every folder you can get inside and you can check everything properly. Okay, so that's why we are mostly looking for the admin credential. Okay, so then only you can able to um, do the complete testing. Okay, so once the nessus scan is completed, right? So what we will do, so we'll generate a report. So I'll show you the nessus tool how it look likes. So we just go to the Google. But anyhow, this practical scenario and all we'll see in the later videos. But now I'm just telling the difference between the vulnerability assessment and penetration testing, how the vulnerability assessment is going to happen, how the penetration testing will going to happen. Okay, but everything we see in the practical based, we have a separate section for that. So we see everything the practical way. There's no theoretical. Okay, so Nessus, if you directly you can see that site Nessus vulnerability scanner. So this tool is given by Tenable organizations. Okay, so you can see here you have, I mean this is actually this is a paid tool. Okay, so for trial period you have some certain permission, you can perform, you can try yourself for around 16 IPs. For 16 system you can do some scanning and you can see how it's showing you the output. Okay, for 16 IPs you can do. So more than that, you need to buy the Nessus. Okay, so if you click on try here, You can see the different versions also here. Sorry. So you have the Nessus professional version, Nessus expert versions. You have two different version, and you have the difference also. So what is the difference between expert versions and professional versions? Okay, so this two difference I will explain you later. But first we see the difference between vulnerability assessment and penetration testing. Okay, so the we can use any one you to perform this scanning, and there's one more thing. Uh, Okay. So I mean, before doing the penetration testing is the completely manual activity. So we consider it as a manual. So why I'm saying it is a manual activity, because so if you want to, I mean, there is a tool called Nessus that can able to do entire testing. You can ask me, okay, there is a tool that can do entire testing. Even why we are going with the manual one? Because tool having only certain I mean limits. Okay, the tool can't able to think like a human. So as a human, what we can do, as a human, I can understand the application logic, and I can understand the server structures. So based on that, I can try with the different logic to get the access of the server, or else get the complete access of the application. So as a human, I have a different thinking. Okay, that's why. So even if you do the vulnerability assessment, so again, the same system will give for the penetration testing activity. So we do everything in the manual way. We understand the application, or else we understand the server logic, then we perform the manual analysis. Okay, so that analysis and all I will explain later, but we have the penetration testing in the manual way. Okay, so we use some sort of tools, but it's like I mean, we can't say that the tool will do entire things. So like Nessus. Okay, so in Nessus, we have the advantages like once you give the IP, so the Nessus tool will scan entire system, and it will give the uh, complete structure. Okay, first one, this is the finding name. Okay, finding name, and actually, what is the uh, impact? So impact in the sense, if you not fix this vulnerable, what will be the problem you will face? So that is called impact. So then it will give how you can solve that solutions. Okay, so all the things, even you will get a reference. So all the things, proper structure document you will get. Just you need to send to your customer, and they will check all the things, and they will use this solution link or reference links to resolve that problem. Okay, everything can done by the tool itself. But once you are coming into the PT, that it will not happen like that. You need to manually analysis. I do some manual analysis. Then you need to prepare the proper document. Okay, so the document also you have to prepare. Okay, there's no such some sort of tools. Okay, reason is like, so this manual analysis completely based upon your idea. Okay, so you only know. So if I mean, if that company not fix this particular vulnerability, what will be happen? So you only know that. So then you need to write the finding name. You need to give the impact. You need to give the solutions, and you need to give the reference. Everything you have to do. Okay. Anyhow, you can say that it will take timing. I mean, PT is a timing process. We know that because we are doing everything manually. If this tool complete the entire security testing in 1 day, right? So, but we need to complete the security testing for one system 1 day, because we are doing complete analysis, right? So there is a time difference also. So even though we are preferring only the PT because of the logic. So the tools can't think like a human. That's why I mostly preferring for the PT also. And you can ask me, okay, instead of doing VA, is there is a possible to go directly to perform the PT? You can ask me like that as well. You can go directly for the PT, but it will take so much of time again. So once you complete the VA, if I am doing the PT for the system, for me 1 day is enough. But without doing of VA activity, if I going to perform the penetration testing, for me I need around 1.5 days, minimum 1.5 days, or at least we need 2 days. The reason is like, I'll explain. See, so when the tool is trying to analyze the system, not only with the outdated version, not only with the misconfiguration, it will check what and all the ports are open. So there is a concept called ports. Okay, so this we need to understand. So ports. Okay, so in internet, if you are transferring any data, even if you are trying to access the Google, Facebook, whatever it is, so we know there is a technology called IP. This will help to communicate in the internet. In the same way, there is another one thing called port number. This will also help to communicate whatever the service you are requesting. For example, if you're trying to access the website, the port number will be 80. If you're trying to access the email service, the port number will be 25. IP will help to identify the system. Okay, so if you have some, this is your system, this is my system. Okay, so this we just consider, we take it as simple 10.1 for as is the IP of this system, 10.2 IP of this system. Okay, so if I want to communicate with this IPs and AF, okay, I can reach to this system with the help of IP. But the port number is like, so once I reach this system, what I need to request here, what I mean, for what purpose I came here. So for that I need the port. So if I try for the website like okay, it's a Google server. Okay, if I'm trying to access the Google, then port 80 should be here. My system will request for the port 80, then this system will understand, okay, this system is requesting for the Google. Okay, so then it will response back. Okay, so this is called I mean, this is the usage of the port number. Okay. Meanwhile, still here till here, is there is any doubts you can ask me, so else we can move forward. I think so much of them or raise their hands. Um, yeah, you can ask me the question. Hello.
Hello, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, you told it requires 1 day for that.
Yes, for the PT.
Yeah, means for a normal PC, right?
Yeah, I mean, not for the normal PC. So I'm just taking the highest possibilities. Okay, even if it is your system or else it may be your company system, whatever it is, I'm just taking the highest possibilities. For that, I need 1 day of time to complete the testing.
Okay, so for what? Even if we are having uh, the fifth or sixth generation laptop or mobile phone, which have
Okay.
advanced features, then also how much time means it would take, even if it's our this new generation type.
Okay, so the time is not based upon the system specification. Okay, so the scanning is, I mean, the analysis, I'm saying that based upon your system usage. Just imagine, mm, you have a Google server. Okay, there's a Google server. Okay, anyhow, we know that. So they are having they will have the huge spec system because so much of users are using, trying to request the Google at the same time. Okay,
Yeah.
so in that case, if I try to, I mean, the Google is requesting me to perform some scanning activity or do some analysis activity. I will do that. Okay, I can do that. But even if it is the high spec system also, for me it will take same time. Okay, and
Okay.
there's a chance to increase the time as well because that's a Google, right? So we can't consider it as a only they will use for the limited usage. There's a chance because Gmail is there, Play Store is also for the Google, and we are using so much of thing. But even we don't know that. But in backend, we are using so much of things for from the Google, right? So we have n number of system. There is a possibilities.
Okay.
So then anyhow it will take time. So it's not completely based upon the system spec. It's based upon the usage of the system.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
Hello.
Yeah, please.
What are the uses of method?
What are the uses of
Methods.
Nessa? Yeah, the Nessas will help to perform the scan. I mean, we can say it's like a hardening tool. Hardening in the sense you have your system. Okay. So if I ask you, okay, whether your system is safe or not, so what will be your answer? So anyhow, you say yes or no something. Okay. So if you have a question, okay, I feel that my system having some problem, but I don't know, I need to check that. Okay. So what you can do the scan for your system, and the Nessus tool will give the complete analysis report. Okay, I check your system. I see that so this much of port numbers are opening, and this and all the vulnerable service are running in your system, and this and all the outdated versions are running in your system. You need to patch this all the things, and it will give the reference link for to patch that vulnerable, everything you will get. Okay, so not only Nessus, we have different tools, but here I just taken Nessus as an example. Okay, this is the one of the tool mostly in organization. Nessus Qualys will be there. Okay, this is the one of the tool. Okay.
Even does the Wireshark works like Nessus na?
Wireshark is completely different. Wireshark will monitor only the network traffic. So if I'm doing and now we are doing some communication over the Zoom meeting, right? So this conversation can able to monitor by the Wireshark, but the Wireshark not able to scan your system. Wireshark only monitor the network. That is a complete difference. Nessus will scan your system and it will give you the vulnerable list, everything. Okay, but Wireshark not like that. So it will just it's a tool. It's sit in front in between your network, and it will monitor what and all the data are traveling over the network. That's it.
Okay, sir.
Sir, I had a doubt.
Yeah.
You said that PT needs like one full day because it has to like we have to check it manually.
Mm-mm.
But in today's scenario, like AI is growing, so
Mm-mm.
aren't we using AI like in industries that are actually working in PT? How
Mm-mm.
efficiently is AI helping them?
Okay. So you can take AI as well. Okay. Uh, Whatever the things you are feeding, right? Based upon your idea only, the AI will react, right? So I mean, you are AI. I mean, you are doing some you are feeding some data to the AI how to perform the PT. Okay, so you have some certain knowledge. Okay, you are doing some sort of PT. So based on your knowledge only, the AI tool will react there. Correct, right?
Yes, sir.
So if there is a one more person coming has a 10 years of experience, there is one more guy. Okay, if that person is doing the testing right, then that person knowledge and everything is different, and if that guy gives some data, feed the data to the AI, then the testing will be different. Correct, right? So tool based we can believe, not 100 percentage. We can go
Okay.
use we can use the tool. Okay, so you can use the AI tool to perform the scan to get some outputs, but without analysis you can't forward that. Okay, you need to do some analysis. Okay, so you need to check whether the output is given by this AI tool, whether this all things are right or wrong. You need to analysis, and you need to forward that. Even there is a possibilities. Um you can, I mean, even there is a possibilities like, how can I say? There's some more vulnerable. You need to perform additionally, but this AI tool will help you to reduce the time. Okay, instead of doing some basic activity, the AI can help you, but not
Got
for
it.
the complete activity.
Sir,
Yeah, please.
sir, as you mentioned that penetration testing is done manually, may
Hmm.
you give some example like what tests are actually performed on the system?
Okay, so I'll show you some example. Okay, So we take this application. Okay, so we have a log. I'm showing only the one single scenario. Okay, this is not only the scenario will do for the entire testing. This is only one simple scenario I'm just showing you here. Okay, so you have a login page. Okay, so even I don't know what is the actual password and what is the username, nothing. Okay, what I am doing as a attacker. Okay, so penetration testing is completely like, so you need to think from the attacker point to I mean to secure this application. The reason is like, so once you think like an attacker, then only you can able to breach this application. Then only you can suggest properly. Okay, so I just think from the attacker point. I this type of things. So that's why I got your application access. You need to secure by this way. So you can able to say. Otherwise, we can say something like a normal person, like okay, just keep your system up to date, update your firewall, so that and all we can say. Okay, but the when you are the when some organizations coming to you to perform the PT, right, they need complete proper securities. Okay, so now other than, I mean, next other than the firewall, other than updating the service to the latest version, so we need to give some additional input. Okay, so what I am doing here, I'm just imagine. Okay, so mostly there will be a possible for the admin. Okay, the username will be admin. So what I am doing here, so the password is here, so I don't know actual password. So what I am doing here, the I think I think your name is showing that. I'm just typing here DESKHANA. Okay, I'm just typing your name here. Okay, I can show the, sorry. Okay, you can see I'm just using some random name here. It's not an actual name. I'm just trying to log in here. See, it's got logged in. Okay, so like this type of scenario, we need to perform for the applications to we need to check whether we can able to get the access of the applications. Okay, so once I got the complete admin access, you just imagine I can do whatever I want, right? So I can transfer some amount and I can able to transfer some amount to my account. So I can do everything. Okay, so even if they go, I mean, they are moving forward. That target victim is moving forward, and they are giving some police complaint. Even that time, if they saw this things right, they will feel that okay, only admin is try login into my login and transfer some amount from my account to this account. Okay, so they will feel like that. Okay, that's why. So each and every application, so it's coming to the online, right? So we need to check the safety. We need to make sure whether the application is completely safe or not. Okay, so that's why penetration activities we are doing for all the organization. Every year they need to do the so we can, I mean, so if you are running some bank, okay, we can, you can imagine you are running a bank. Okay, you are developing applications. Okay, so now the before launching, you are doing some security testing. Even you fix all the scenarios. Okay, so the security cyber security expert is suggesting you to fix this on all the problems. You are fixing everything. Okay, so even after 1 year, you need to perform security test again. The reason is like, over the 1 year of period, sure there will be a new attack methodology. There may be a chance of outdated version. I mean, there you will use some versions, right? There may be chances. Okay, the version will get outdated. So many things are there. Again, you need to perform the security testing. Then you need to launch your application. Okay, so you have to make sure your security every year. So for that, you need a penetration tester.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Yeah,
Sir,
yeah,
can you please explain the part of ports and IP again?
yeah, sure. I will explain that. Okay, so I'll take Wireshark to explain here. Just a minute. Just give me a minute. I'm just turning on this.
अच्छा रोटी अच्छा रोटी एकदम सालन भी हो मस्त वाला मम्मी और कुछ मंगाऊं तुम लोग को और कुछ आओ तो पहले और नहीं नहीं क्या बोलती है हाँ क्या है मॉकटेल वालेकुम सलाम अरे माँ शवाजी भी नहीं है अरे बाप रे बाप व्हाट अ सरप्राइज
Yeah.
So basically, a computer needs both IP address and port address to travel the data on the internet.
Yes. So I mean the thing is like so I just consider Google is there. Okay, you are trying to access the Google. Okay, so the IP can help you to reach till the Google. Okay, so Google having a number of services, right? But
Yes.
here you are just only requesting for the website. How the Google will know that okay you are requesting for the website, I need to respond only website data. How the Google will know that? So you are requesting some specific services, right? Website. For that specific services there is a port number. Okay. Yeah, hello.
So basically, we need to send the data to a computer. We need IP address. In a computer, which application needs the service like Gmail or any other app, we need port number for a particular app to be serviced, right?
Yes, over the internet you need the port number. I'll just show you the example. See, so here I'm just 1 minute. See, here I'm just typing. Uh, I'm just typing on simple command ping google.com. Okay. So now what I'm trying to do, I'm trying to reach the Google. Okay. Okay. Let's see. We use okay, so here what I try to do that I try to get the Google IP. Okay, so disclosing of the Google IP is not a problem. Okay, so IP will help to transfer over the network. The name will help to search. As a normal user, I if I want to do some search, right, I can't able to remember the IP. So instead of that, only we got the domain name like Google, Facebook, Yahoo. Okay, so I'm just copying this. Okay, I'm just opening my Firefox. Okay, I'm just pasting the IP here. Okay, where is that? Copy. So I think so. 142.250.205.46. Okay, so I'm just hitting enter. See, it's directly redirecting to the Google. Okay, even if you I mean if you use the Wireshark, you can see everything in the clear way. So
वो
here
चर्च
what
में
I'm
पहली
doing.
शादी है शायद हाँ महिमा की शादी को गए थे वो चर्च में होगा महिमा हाँ रो बोलने
Sir, sorry for the interrupt. I have just muted everyone.
Oh,
Like if they wanted to ask the question, they can just message you, sir. You can answer for that because if we unmute, they will disturb you in the between.
okay, okay, sure, no problem. Yeah, no problem.
Okay.
Yeah, sure. So
Yeah.
142.205.205 dot 46. Okay, so you can see here. Okay, this is my system IP. One, you can see the source here. Okay, source 192.168.29.106. Okay, so and this is my Google. So if you want to check what is my system IP, I'll show you here. So if config, so you can see the IP of my system. So 192.168.29.106. Okay, so my system is requesting to Google. Okay, so you can see here, so in info there is some value 37488. It's my system port number, and it requesting to the port 80. Port 80 in the sense this is the website port number. Okay, if you are requesting for any website, so it will request the port 80. Here I am just for example I taken the Google one, so you can check with Facebook, Yahoo, whatever site you can check with that. So it will reach to the port 80. Then see below, so the Google responding back, so from port 80 to my IP. So I mean my port number, and again I am responding to Google to port 80. Okay, so this we consider as a handshake and the communication between my system, my browser, and Google. Okay, but here just I tried to explain you that. So 80 is the main thing. So for website, if you want to reach out the Google, your system will reach for the port number 80. Then you will get the website. So if you're doing some email service, the port number will be the different 25 or something. Sorry, 25 will be there. If you're trying for some other service, based on the services, the port number will get difference. Okay, so for each and every services there is a unique port number. So for a website 80, for a email service 25, for monitoring SNMP network monitoring service, we have port number 161. So likewise for each and every port number there is a different services. Okay, I think you understand what I try to say. Disclosing no, see, disclosing of IP is not a problem. So IP will help you to reach you over the network. That's it. But the system, how you are maintaining, that is the matter here. So you need to properly maintain the firewall, and you need to properly, I mean, if you're using some services, right, you need to properly configure that. Like without your permission, no one can able to access. Like that, you need to configure that. So only from the your if your friends want to access that, you can give the permission for your friends. So until the other than that, if some others try to access your system, you need to do some restriction there. So that only will help you to what to say that um, prevent over the network. Okay. So vulnerability through the IP, I will explain that. So how you can able to find out the vulnerability by using the IP. So that we will see when I'm doing the penetration testing in practical way. That time you can easily understand that. So I mean the attacker, how they come to know about the IP, that and all I will explain that. Okay, so we are just getting enter into the penetration. I mean we are just now we are discussing what is penetration testing, what is VA. We not yet work for the practical also. Okay, so just give some time. Maybe day after tomorrow or else the next day you will have the practical scenario of this penetration testing and vulnerability assessment activity. I'll explain that. Okay. So this is the difference between penetration testing and vulnerability assessment. Okay, just give me a time. I will try to. I mean, I will. We have some sort of um, concept, so I'll try to complete that. Meanwhile, I will give the time to ask the doubt. Okay. Okay. So I think mostly you guys will understand what is the vulnerability assessment, what is penetration testing activity, everything. Okay. So the second thing is like you need to understand about the target. I mean understand in the sense, um, if you are working in some organization. Okay, so you are getting some victim system. I mean not a, we can't say it as victim. So you are in your organization, they are providing uh, some IP of the system to do some security checks. Okay, so you need to do some step by step procedure to complete the penetration testing activity. Okay, then only you can able to say that, so I did this type this and all the steps to perform the penetration testing. From this step I got this system access, or else I got this sensitive information about the target system. Then only we can able to say. Okay, so in the step-by-step procedure, first of all, you are getting something like, I'm just taking example as a Google. Okay, I'm not going to do anything with the Google, but I'm just trying to understand the Google infrastructure. Okay, so first you need to understand the target, because only you are going to get the IP or else the name of the domain. I mean, like Google, Facebook, Yahoo, you will get only those things. Okay, so you need to understand the target infrastructure, then only you can plan your uh, penetration testing approach. Because if you see that there is a firewall, if you see that there is something in between to block you to reach the server. Okay, so once you know that, then you will have an idea to bypass that. Okay, so for that, first we need to understand the infrastructure. So infrastructure in the sense, nothing. So I'm just saying that how is there is any firewall, how many servers are maintained by that target organizations. So that and all we consider as a infra. Okay, because so if you want to get some data from Google or Facebook, sure there will be a server. Okay, from that server only you are getting the data. So you're requesting for that Google, you are getting response as a data. Okay, so in that server there are how can I say, um there will be a data. Okay, whatever the data you are requesting, that will be stored inside that server. So if there is no data, if you are trying to access there, if there is a no data, you will not get anything. Okay, so now what I am going to do that, I'm trying to see how many servers are maintained by the Google. Okay, so now I'm just trying to visit virustotal.com. There is a site called virustotal. Okay, so here what I'm trying to do that, I'm just searching google.com. Okay, so you can type Amazon, you can check with Amazon, Facebook, whatever it is, you can try with that. Okay, so once you give the, I mean, you give the domain name, so you have the options called relationals. So once you click here, you see the subdomains. Okay, so you see here there are 8.6.8K of domains are there. Okay, we know only the google.com, so we just type like google.com. Even if I want to reach Gmail, I'll just click Gmail here. Even if I want to go to Play Store, I have an option here. So whatever the options here, I just directly click. If I click on play, it will move on to the play.google.com. Okay, so we know only the domain name, but if once I click the options, moving to that particular name. But for each and every domain, there is a separate servers. You can see here mail, rate limit proxy. You can see a number of domain names are there. Okay, so each and every domain name, you can see the IP here. Okay, this one all the IP of this particular servers. I mean this domain. Okay, so you can say that, okay, why they are using this much of server? Why they want this much of server to manage the entire things? The reason is like to avoid the downtime. Downtime in the sense, so not only the downtime, we have another one options as well, like security. Okay, so downtime, to avoid the downtime, to avoid the security issue, for that they are creating this much of servers. I'll give an example for that. Yeah, see, this is your one server. Okay, so in this server, what you are doing that, so you are creating some e-commerce application. Okay, just consider e-com application is there. So you are maintaining the database. Okay, before that, what type of e-commerce application we can consider? Okay, we consider as Amazon. Okay, like Amazon, you are trying to create a application like Amazon. Okay, so in Amazon we have different functionalities, like one is like vendor. So vendor is that, so vendor will post their product in the website. So as a normal customer, I can buy that. So vendor is there, then normal customer is also there. Okay, so then we have login page. So for if there is a login page, then we have a database. Okay, then we have an admin page also. So why I'm saying that there will be admin page, because so the vendor customer, if there is any issue, if the admin want to remove them, or else if admin want to take some action, we need some specific portal for that. So admin page will be there. Okay, so I'm not considering the I don't know how the entire Amazon application will be. I'm just considering that from how the application mostly we will do the some development, right? So based on that point, I'm just considering this. Okay, so what we'll do, we create a one server for the database, and we create one server for the vendor maintenance, and we create one server for the customer, and we create one more server for the admin. Okay, so just imagine if all these things in the one server, definitely you can handle only limited number of users. So imagine that this server have only the limited allow only the limited requests like 500 user or else 50,000 users at a time. Okay, so if there is a one more request is coming after this 50,000 request, show that users should keep away from this server. So once if there is a if the one person get out from this server, then only this user can get in. Until that, the user can't get inside. Okay, that's why what we are doing here. So we are creating the separate server. So if we are trying to log in, the database server will take care. If you are trying to, as a vendor, I'm login, it will take care of one more server. So as a customer, it will take care of one more server. So when I'm doing the payment service will take care of one server. So each service will handle, each server will handle the different usage. Then automatically this server having the free space, because n number of user can able to handle at a time. That's why we are creating so much of servers, so to avoid the downtime. So otherwise if I use all thing in the one server, sure I need to wait for some long time. So the limit, how can I confirm? That's based on the specification. Okay, I'll show you that example. So you're asking how much limit the server can able to handle the request. For example, you can take your system RAM. So for I'm just taking my system RAM here. Okay, so my system having around um, just imagine memory I have around 32 GB of RAM. Okay, so what I'm doing here, I'm trying to close this Kali. So now I am using around instead of 31 GB of 31.7 GB of RAM, my system is utilizing 19.2 GB of RAM. Okay, so now I'm just trying to close this. Okay, now see how much RAM is utilizing. See, there is some drop down, and it's handling around 16.7 GB. From 19, it's get down to the 16.7 GB of RAM. The scenario is like, so whenever you are trying to open some new, even if you open new tab in the Chrome, right? So automatically I will see here. I will open a number of tab here. So you can see slightly it's getting up, and from 16 to it's moving to the 17.2. Okay, for each and every activity, your system will occupy some amount of RAM for that activity. Okay, so I'm just closing all things now. Okay, now see, there again drop down. Okay, same like that for each and every request, your system will take some amount of space from the RAM. Okay, so if you are a Amazon user, you logged in and you are trying to access, you're trying to buy some products, right? Anyhow, you will take around 15 minutes, 20 minutes to analyze your products, right? So until that, for your request, there is some space. I mean, your request will occupy some RAM from that system. So same way, based on your system specifications, the number of user can log in. Okay, you understand, right? My point. I think Wasi. Okay, fine. See, yeah, it depends on you, but you can take. I mean, for we are using the normal system. Okay, So we have in system itself we have different types of model. One is like consumer, one is like commercial, another one is like workstation, then we have server model. So each system having some different usage. All the topic. Okay. Index of course. I think you already have that thing. Okay, so after this class, maybe from Shushmita, can I help you on that? Okay, fine. Okay, I'll just complete the doubt and we'll move on to the topic. Okay, so based on the each and every request, some amount of RAM can be utilized from your system. Okay, fine. So that's why we are getting this much of that's why the organization taking a huge number of system. Okay, the second thing is like if in same system, if you are using all the data, you are storing all the data, right? If that system is get compromised, then all the data will you'll lose all the data. Okay, so if you keep one system is for a database, one system is for handling the payment, and one system is for the admin, right? So even if one system got attacked, you can safeguard other data. So that's why you need to manage the system. I mean, you need to take more than 4 5 system for one particular applications. You can manage that. So there is a advantage of maintaining the to avoid the downtime. And there's one thing is like security as well. So two things we need to maintain there. Okay, so this one is called availability. So one is availability, another one is like security also we need. Another one is like we have confidentiality. So confidentiality in the sense, so you have the admin page. So admin page can only access by the specific users because yeah, access by the specific user in the sense um what we can say. Okay, so in your organization, there are higher authority peoples A, B, C, D. You have different types of people there. Okay, so that 4 people only to access that admin page. If others trying to access, the application should not allow, and the application I mean, application response back that you are not the proper users to access this admin portal. So we need to set some confidentiality for that application. Then is like integrity is there. So the application, I mean, whenever you are transferring some data, so over the internet, so that what to say, that data should not change by anyone. So that is called integrity. So we need to maintain the CIA. CIAs is like a triangle. So that topic which I have covered saying explaining now, that is called CIA. CIA, confidentiality, integrity, and availability. It's like a triangle. Okay, we need to maintain this three. Okay, once we maintain this three, so you will create some basic structure of security. So even if you take it as application, if you take it as any systems, whatever it is, you need to maintain your confidentiality, integrity, and availability. Okay, so then only you can able to maintain the security. This is the one of the thing. Okay, the second thing is like just a minute. Okay, before getting into the next concept, so if you have any idea, I mean, if you have any doubts, you can ask me. So any doubts? Oh, I mean, specific to this topic, I'm asking. I think everyone is okay. CA is confidentiality, integrity, and availability. That's why I explained that. So confidentiality in the sense, okay, I'll explain once again because CA some people are not able to understand. So I'll explain once again. Okay, CIA. Okay, you just CA is like confidentiality, integrity, and availability. You just imagine there is an application. Okay, so here also we take example as for Amazon. Okay, so Amazon you can take it as example. So whenever you are trying to request, the Amazon is replying, responding back successfully. So you're not feeling any drop down there. Okay, so drop down in the sense, so I mean mostly college student feel this type of issues. So when they are trying to I mean check their result at the, I mean after exam there is a result date, right? So if you try to access that website, it will take so much of time to get the result. Okay, so we'll wait for so long time. Some people will get soon, some people will take around half an hour to um, get the response. Okay, so there is a problem with the availability. Okay, so even if the same thing happened for the Amazon, just imagine. Okay, so instead of Amazon you have your own site. Okay, so you are doing every online selling in that particular website. Okay, so you are facing this type of issue. Okay, any your website name is abc.com, your competitor is there xyz.com. Okay, so the normal customers to first try to log in with your uh, website, they'll try to buy some product. Okay, so if your site is not responding properly, uh, what the customer will do, some customer will wait for the time. Okay, so but most of the customer will move on to the xyz.com. Okay, so exam result is fine because you have to get the result, so you don't have any other option. Sure, you will wait and you will try to get the result. Okay, but if like this type of site in online site, so most of the time the customer will not wait, they will move on to the different site. They will feel that okay, there may be a problem, they will move on to the different site. Okay, so what happened, so just imagine you are getting 5,000 customers at a time. Okay, so the 5,000 customers trying to get rupees around, I mean trying to buy some products between 1,000 to 2,000 rupees. Okay, we just take it as 1,000. Okay, so just imagine how much you will how much amount you will lose. Okay, so we'll just calculate that, then you can will get an idea. 5,000, sorry, I'm just kidding. 5,000 into 1,000. Okay, see here, you lost this much of amount. Okay, so that's why we need to maintain the availability. So how, you can ask me how I can maintain the availability. So I am having the site, how I can maintain the availability. So there's only way, you need to create multiple servers. So the reasons of creating multiple servers, okay. So if if there is a lot of customer, just take this as a customer. Okay, if one customer is getting inside, so the first request will go to this server. If the second customer is getting inside, the customer request will go to this server. So and there is a third customer, so the third customer is getting inside, the request will go to this server. Just imagine, even every server can maintain around 1 lakh of customers, okay, at a time. Just I'm saying that. So every server can able to handle 1 lakh of customer at a time. It means 3 lakh of customer can handle by your website at same time. So the customer will not face any downtime. So based upon your customer you need to maintain the server. So if you have, I mean, you know that. So how many server users will log in at this time? How many user will log in at afternoon time, at night time, at morning time? You know that. You already do some prediction and you will maintain in your database. Okay, based on that, you need to increase the server. Okay, if there is a, okay, if you're facing, okay, so now I am moving forward and my companies also get established. different places, you are feeling okay, there is a chances of 4 lakh of customer. Okay, then you need to create one more server. So because then only you can able to handle one more 1 lakh of peoples. Then if there is one more user is coming, it will move on to this system. So it's like a balancing the load. So once you can able to balance the load, so whenever the customer is trying to access your system, every time the customer feel that you are available. Okay, so to avoid the downtime, we are creating this much of servers. To maintain that, we need, I mean, that is called availability. Okay, so then what is the confidentiality here? So confidentiality in the sense, so there is the application. Okay, same. You consider the same abc.com, that is your e-commerce site. Okay, so there is a different portal. One is called admin, another one is called normal customer. Okay, just take the admin and customer. So admin is the most sensitive part. Only owner or else some admin, the organization key people only can able to access that. So if the same account customer is trying to access, right, so that particular application should respond back, sorry, you are not a authorized user to access this admin portal. So it should respond back like that. So for that, the that is called confidentiality. You need to maintain something, because I after once get login into the admin, we have so much of data. So if that gets disclosed, right, then it's a completely different scenario. So that's why we need to maintain the confidentiality. And there is a integrity as well. Integrity in the sense, so when you are transferring some data over the network, okay, so that data should not changed by anybody. Okay, so for example, okay, so this is your PC, and this is your like e-commerce site abc.com. Okay, this is your something, how can I say, okay, your PC. Okay, so the user, what user is trying to do that, uh, the user is trying to buy some product. Okay, it's around 2000 rupees of product. Okay, so the user is trying to request for that particular product. Okay, now what as a hacker is doing, intercepting and trying to change the 2000 amount to 1000. There is a changes happening in between, and this request is going to server. Even the server is also accepting that. So the integrity is getting damaged here, right? So we need to confirm that. So whenever the user is trying to request some products, the date requested product is not get changed. What the product actually is showing in the application, the same requests should come to the server. Even if there is a changes happen, the server should find out that, okay, so this is not the actual amount, the actual amount is 2000 rupees. So the server should find that. So that is called integrity. So if you're trying to create one new application, or if you're trying to create one new server, you need to maintain CIA. It's like a triangle: confidentiality, integrity, and availability. I can show you some real-time example with some site. Okay, so I'll show you that integrity problems. So once show after showing the practical, I'll confirm the doubts. Okay, there are few doubts I see in the chat, so I'll just come back once I complete this scenario. Okay. Okay, so don't take this as in the negative way. So we need to understand how to check the security and how to respond to that particular website. So sir, I am found this type of problem in your application. We need to explain them. Okay, so don't take anything to the negative point. Okay, see here you have some products. So cakes, chocolates, something you can buy here. Okay, so what I'm doing here, I'm just trying to order something. Okay, Okay, so first I just want to confirm that how many of them can able to understand this concept. So because I'm getting someone is not able to understand what is CIA, because CA is how can I say, CA is not anything practical. That is the basic thing. Okay, so when you are trying to develop a new application, you are confused. Okay. See, actually, the topics which and whatever we are seeing, right? So different between vulnerability assessment, penetration testing, and what is CIA. This and all the separate concept. Once we get into the next topic, right? This all will get correlated. Okay. So now we are just seeing the basic. What is CIA? So what is different between penetration testing and vulnerability assessment? This one all the basic thing. Okay, just we are seeing the definition, but even we not a deep dive into that practical scenario. Okay, don't once you just understand the scenario, whatever we are seeing. So once we are getting into the next day classes, right? So this will help you to understand that. Okay, okay. So I understand your point. I understand points. So I'll just go from the basics. I will not switch the topics. Okay. Okay. So I actually see here. So someone is asking that cybersecurity basics start from network. Without that, how can we learn the Linux penetration testing? Okay, so actually we need to understand the network, and we need to understand difference between pen testing and vulnerability assessment. So then we need to go with the practical scenario. So then CA is also important thing. Okay, so once you are getting into the organization, right? So first they will ask you the question. So what is the difference between vulnerability assessment and penetration testing? Why you need to do the vulnerability assessment, and why you need to do the penetration testing? That is the first question. Once you get into the organization, that's why I'm explaining that what is the difference on that. So then only we are going to see the practical. The second thing is like CIA. So they will ask the basic question: what is CIA? How you can um, analyze the CIA with any applications or else any server. Okay, that's why we are seeing the CIA. So next there is a concept, we see the network. So after this we see the network, and we try to see the Linux basics command. Then we go for the penetration testing. Okay, so this is the basic things. This is the fundamental steps. So you need to go one by one. So then only you can. But so when we are taking the fundamentals, so you face something like so we are taking some part by part. Okay, but actually so when you are doing some practical things, right? That time you this all the concept will help you there. So just try to understand this particular concept. Don't go like don't correlate with anything. So anyhow I'll show you everything in the practical way. Okay. Okay, okay. So yeah. Okay, so I'll give the route map for you guys. So then I think it's maybe helpful to understand that. Okay, so how you can how we go with the practical before going to the practical. So you guys are asking a bit more basics. So I will do one thing. So I will show you the route map how you going to how we are going to perform the penetration testing, everything. I'll just give you the route map. Just give me a minute. Okay, so the first thing is like, so before getting into the penetration testing, whatever the things, before you're getting into the cyber security, okay, first we need to understand the operating system. Okay, so operating system in the sense we need to understand the both Linux and Windows. And there's one more point, we should not depend with any operating system like someone will say that okay, one without Kali Linux I can't able to do any attacks, I need the proper Kali Linux. So likewise we should not depend on any operating system. If even if you have a Windows, even if you have a Linux, okay, okay, so you should not depend with any operating system. Okay, so that's why we need to understand Linux and Windows, both operating system. We need to understand everything. Okay, so then second thing is like we need to understand the network. Okay, so in network we need to understand how the router will work, then how the switches will work. Okay, so we need to understand both. So router, switches, everything. So anyhow, this everything's we're going to see in the entire courses. Okay, so router, switches, how it's going to work, and where you can use the router and where you can use the um, switch. So everything we'll see in the concept. The second thing, third thing is like we are going to work with the um, practical. Okay, the practical in the sense I'm going to show you how you can perform the vulnerability assessment using I mean I just explained what is vulnerability assessment and what is Nessus tool, but anyhow I'll show you how to use the Nessus tool. Okay, so this I will show you in the practical. Then penetration testing. So in this penetration testing, I will take some server and I will show you how to get the complete access of the server. Okay, so when you are coming into the penetration testing activity, that time this two concept will help you. Okay, so understanding of Linux, understanding of Windows, this will help you in the penetration testing activity. So first I will show you how you can able to do some security check for the network, then how you can able to do some security check for the Windows, then we'll see how to we can do some security check for the router and switches. That everything we'll see in the penetration testing. So that's why we are going to cover this before starting the PT. Okay, so then you can ask me, so why we are seeing the CIA? So because now we are getting confusion because of the CIA activity. Okay, so when you are getting into the organizations, okay, so if you are a cybersecurity expert, you are getting into the organization, right? That time practical thing is fine. So when you are working with the penetration testing activity, you have the complete practical knowledge, everything is fine. Okay, based on the practical they will hire you, they will give the work to perform the test security test for the different servers. Okay, but sometimes when you are trying to discuss with your company management people, like higher level of people. Okay, so your technical concept will help to understand only by the technical teams. For example, when you are doing some security testing for the servers or else application, only that team can able to understand. Okay, you are saying that sir, your server is vulnerable for this particular area. I can able to do some attacks on this. So that POC everything can able to understand by the server team. If you are saying for the application team can be able to understand. But the report, I mean when you are submitting your penetration testing or vulnerability assessment report, so after that you have a call with the company management people and the technical people. Okay, first the company management people will think from the point of severity. Okay, they will think from the point of severity. Sir, you are saying this much of vulnerability is there for my there in my servers application everything. Okay, so if I not fix this one, what will happen? Okay, so you need to explain them. Okay, if you not fix this, there is a chances of data loss and there is a chances of financial loss. Okay, and you need to explain them. So how frequently this can be happen. So you can say that, okay, sir, this I have found around 30 different types of attacks on your server. Okay, so you can explain that, but the company management people will ask, okay, you are saying there's a 30 different types of attack. I understand that, but my point is that, so how frequently attacker can do this attack. So if this application I'm not fixing this application, I'm just taking to the live, how frequently attacker can do that, and how long period you will allow me to do the fixing. Okay, so they will ask from this point, they will not consider any technical point directly, they will jump into the point. So what is the next step? That time you need to explain that, sir, you are saying that, I mean, there is 20 vulnerability, right? So one vulnerability having the possibility of, for example, you are working some with some banks, right? Banking having some login page. Okay, so once login, they can able to do some transaction, whatever they want, they can do, right? So if the user can able to log in, the attacker can able to log in, right? There is a loss of confidentiality. So user account data is getting logged by attackers, and the payment, other details, everything can access by the attacker, then means there is no confidentiality, right? So that is called, that's why you need to explain from the, there's a loss of confidentiality. Then you need to say that, sir, so if the attackers try to do some dos attack in the sense, the attacker will try to make your server down. Okay, I'm just saying example. So the attacker is trying to make your server down. So for that, what the attackers will do, attacker will try to send n number of requests. Okay, for example, your server having some limitations. Okay, so even you know that your system, everyone are using some systems. So that system having some amount of RAM. Um, what to say? Yeah, some amount of RAM is there. So if one user is coming inside, your system can handle. Two user, your system can handle. Three user, your system can handle. 100 user, that is also fine. The 1 lakh user, fine. But the users should come separately. Okay, first was first user, then second user, then third user. Just imagine at the same time, okay, there is a 1 lakh of requests is coming to your server. Okay, so in particular seconds, so what happened, your server will get down. Then once your service get down, right, what happened, then no one can able to access your system. Then your service complete, I mean, then automatically you lost the availability. So your system is not available. That is called availability. Okay, if someone can able to change your amount, okay, you have a product for 1,000 rupees. If someone is trying to change from 1,000 to 100, then integrity is not there. So you need to explain from this way. Okay, yeah, this is called denial of service. DOS is called denial of service attack. Okay, so we need to explain from this particular point. So that's why we are seeing the CIA. Okay, so when you are talking to the high level of people, you need to take this CIA and you need to explain, you need to combine with the applications. Okay, then only they will understand, okay, so I'm losing my confidentiality, I'm losing my integrity, and losing my availability. If threes get loose, right? Okay, so then automatically they will face huge losses. The reason why I'm saying they will face huge losses, because see, so whatever the, I mean, in the different attacks are happening in real world. Okay, so the final outcome will be the financial loss. Even we hear that there are some of the application get hacked. Okay, and they are they taken around 5 lakhs of user data, 10 lakhs of user data. Okay. Yeah, so you'll see that you will hear that there are 5 lakhs of data is taken from this particular website. Okay, so if we hear that okay, there is some attack happen by this website, what happened then automatically the number of user requesting to that particular site will get reduced. So then automatically the user is not coming, right? They have faced some financial loss, so the company will get down. So you need to correlate with this. So that's why we are taking the CIA. Otherwise, from the technical point, there's no issue. But when you are talking to the management, that time this will help you to explain them. That's why we are considering CIA as the one of the basic things. Okay, I think now you guys understand the basic what is CIA, and not in the much broad view. So I think basically what is CIA, I think so. Is there any doubt? You can raise the question. So I mean DOS in the sense it's a denial of service. Okay. For that I'm how can I explain that? Okay. So I'll just explain one by one. First, I have the what is DOS. DOS is like a so it's a denial of service. So you just take your system. Okay. So in your system, only 10 user can handle at a time. I mean 10 request. Okay. Or else I'll take just a minute. Okay. See here. Where is my task manager? Okay, see. So here, what happened? So there is a 31 GB of instead of 31 GB, 17.6 GB of RAM is utilizing. I'm just explaining about the DOS. Okay, so 17.16 6 GB of RAM is utilizing. Now, what I'm trying to do here, I'm trying to open so much of tab here. Okay, so after opening this amount of this much of tabs, you can see there is a slight increase in my RAM. Okay, so it's taken around 18.1 GB of RAM. It's stay utilizing 18.1 GB. Okay, so just imagine I'm open this much of site. This is unknown tabs, right? So even I'm not searching anything in this tab. I'm just unnecessarily I just open huge number of tabs here. Okay, so same like that. So if you are getting the run number n number of requests, which is not I mean not in the use or like how can I say uh, you are having mm, okay, I'll give one more example. You're having the application like e-commerce site. Okay, you just take the e-commerce site. So you are selling some products in that. Okay, there are 10 customers coming and 10 customers buying some product from your site. That is a genuine customer. Okay, so there are 100 customers coming to your application, accessing your application, and they are taking some products. That is also fine. But 1 lakh of customers coming inside your application, but only 10 people are buying some product. Okay, but remaining request or unnecessary request. Okay, what attacker will do? Attacker will create this unnecessary request to your application, make your application down. Okay, to make you some financial or some other things. Okay, so that's why DOS attack is happening. Okay, so the attacker try to uh, shut down your application for some period of time. So once they stop the DOS attack, your application will get alive until they stop, right? No one can able to access your application. So who are all trying to access your application is say it will say that too long time, session timeout, sorry, the site is not available. You will get that type of response. Okay, that is called DOS attack. Okay, the second thing is like okay, so how many users can be at the same time in Google? Okay, so that will be a millions of users can be uh, access Google same time because they are using huge number of servers. Because so yeah, that's why I say that you have one server. In one server, you can imagine that 1 lakh of people can able to access. Just I'm saying that 1 lakh of people, but Google is not having one server. Google is using n number of servers. So for that only, I just show you that virus total site. So in virus total site, in search option, you can type Google, Amazon, or Facebook, whatever the site you want to check. You can use this site. So once you get inside right up, so you have the option called relationals. Once you click here, you can see how many number of subdomains are there. 6.8K of subdomains. Subdomain in the sense we have that much of servers. So if you are using for Google Play Store, there is a different server. Someone is using Gmail, there is a different server. Someone is trying to do some payment on Google, that will be in the different server. So it's properly handling. So millions of customer can able to handle a Google at a time. Okay, so that's why we are not, the Google is not getting down, and the Google having some production system to find that. So unwanted in request in the sense like a DOS request. So DOS in the sense, so I say that right, there are unnecessary requests created by the attacker, make your server down. So what Google can do, Google can easily identify, and it will stop that attack. Okay, so that's why Google is not not easy to make the server down. Okay, so the next question is how to check the IP address of our own device. So if you want to check the IP address of your Windows system, you just open the command prompt and type ipconfig. Okay, so here you can see the wireless LAN adapter Wi-Fi, because I'm using the Wi-Fi here. That's why it's showing the wireless LAN adapter. Okay, so you can see here IPv4 address. This is my Windows system IP. If you want to check for the Linux, you can try with if config, but this command will not work here because this is a Windows system. If you want check for the Linux, you can type this command if config. This will help you to find the IP address of your Linux device. Okay, where we try to access the multiple password, even wrong ones. I'm not able to get where we try to access with multiple password, even wrong ones, to send request to server to make the server down. I'm not able to get that point. I think Harsha, I'm not able to get your question. The second question is DOS and DDoS attack. I mean, DOS and DDoS both will be the similar, but the thing is like, so DOS will send the request from one system. Okay, so it will send the request like, so we have one system. This is your hacker system. So from this system, it will send n number of requests to the target. DDoS in the sense, so we have n number of attacker machines. From that, each attacker machine will send the n number of requests. So if you are sending thousand requests from this system, right, the same way I'll send 1,000 requests from here, 1,000 requests from here, 1,000 requests from here as well. So then I can able to make the system down very fast. For DOS, it's taking around me to down the system 1 hour, right? It's taking time. Anyhow, it will take them. Once I if I make that system space, I mean RAM, CPU, everything 100% right, then only the system will get down. So for that, from one system, if I try to send, for me it's taking 1 hour. So if I use the multiple systems, right, so I can easily make the system down within 15 minutes or 10 minutes, because I'm sending the same 1,000 requests from multiple system. Okay, so that is called DDoS. So DOS will be from one system, DDoS is from different system. But DOS easily can able to identify if someone is doing DOS, right? We can easily found from where the DOS attack is happening. But if DDoS is bit difficult to find that. Yeah, DOS is a type of attack. Yeah. So is there any other doubts I can able to explain? Okay. I hope everyone is clear in this topic. Just okay. But so from tomorrow onwards, we move on to some bit practical. So and we see something related to the network, and we see related to the servers, and we see um, how to understand the target, and someone ask how to find the other system IP address. Okay, so in IP address, if you want to find some other system IP address, right? So only the publicly available IP address you can find. So like Google, Facebook, Yahoo, that IP address and all you can able to find easily. Okay, so if you want to find the your near friend IP system IP address, your system phone IP address, if you want to found like that, so that is not a possible way, because so Google, Facebook, that and all already into the public. Okay, so that's why easily we can able to find by using this command. So we have the command called nslookup. Okay, so by using this we can able to find the IP, but disclosing of IP is not a problem. Okay, the Google IP, even if you try for the Facebook, you can see the IP. Even you try for the different website, you can see the IP address. Okay, disclosing of IP is not a problem, but so when I do some analysis, in that analysis, if I try to if I can able to get the complete access of that system, that is the problem. Okay, IP is just a point of, we can say it as a point of contact. Through that IP I can reach the target, that's it. Okay, so other than that, we are not going to do for, I mean, disclosing of IP is nothing. Okay, the second thing, so in IP, we see there's called public IP and private IP. That differentiation, everything we see in the network concept. Okay, we have a network concept. In that, I will explain deep about the IP address. So how the IP address are working, and what is the IPv4 address and IPv6 address, what is the difference between of both the things, and using the IP, how we can able to perform the scan, and how we can understand what and all the services are running in the, I mean, uh, if there is a system, you need to understand for what purpose they are using the system. That everything we'll see in the scanning part, because you will get through the IP address, you need to understand about your target. Okay, so in your organizations, so if you, I mean, they will provide only the IP address. Okay, so when you're doing some security checks, they will give only the IP address, they will not give other than IP. Okay, so you need to understand, okay, what is the purpose of this particular system. So you, by performing some scan, but you will get some output. Based on that, you need to understand, okay, this server is completely using for the maintaining the database. B server is using completely for the maintaining the website. So likewise, we need to understand. So and we need to prioritize the server, which server we need to give more focus, because you have 4 servers to perform the testing. Uh, in your organization, they are giving 4 servers. Okay, server 1, server 2, server 3, and server 4. Okay, we have 4 servers. Okay, so if in this 4 server, you need to find out, so what is the usage of server A, B, C, and D. Okay, the reason is like, no, I mean, in organization, if there is, I mean, no uses of any server, right, they will remove that. They will not keep the server for long time. Okay, so if there is a use of that server, they will keep that, otherwise they will remove that server. Okay, yeah, so by doing scan, I'll see if I'm getting port 3306. So before that, before getting into the PT analysis, scanning analysis, we should know about the port number, what is port number, and what is meaning of each and every port number, because we have some port number like 80, 443, then we have 53. We have different port numbers like this, each port number having some different usage. Okay, so if you want to read about the port number, easily you can read from the internet. You will get all the details from the internet. Just you can type here Google port number, short sheet. Okay, so if you type like this, you will get a number of link from here. You can read from there. Okay, so easily you can read, or else if you can, if you want, you can use some chat GPT or something to read that. If you go and type, okay, to explain me about the common port number which we are using in the real world, so it will explain. Mostly you will get port 80, then 443, then 3306, and then you will get 53, then you will get 161, you will get 25, 22, 21, 20. Then we have port number called 23. um, then we have another port number called 3389. This is the most common used port number. Sorry, this is the 80. Okay, this is all the most used common port number, each port number having some unique usage. So this is for website. So if you want to access some website, right, so you need to activate the port 80 in your system. So port 80 in the sense, just imagine this is your server. Okay, you are creating your application and you are launching your application from this server. So if you want to launch that website and from some other user want to access your site, right, that time you need to enable port number 80 on this system, not on your system. You need to activate port 80 on the server system, because I'm just requesting. Okay, I don't want that port 80. So port 80 is help to give the site. So it means we need to activate on the target. So from which system I need to get the access, from that system. On that system only we need port 80. Okay, we need to activate port 80 on the system. Okay, so then I can able to get the website. So 443 is there. So 443 is also for the website. Okay, but the 80 will not have any security. Okay, so 80 is just easily attacker can able to read the data. So if you have a login page, if you try, if you're giving some username password, right, attacker easily can read what is the username you are giving, what is the password you are giving. Easily attacker can able to read. So that's why port 80 is not using the, instead of port 80, mostly we are using the 443, because 443 is also for the website. Okay, but this will encrypt the data. So if you're, when you are trying to transfer some request from your system to server, right, so from here to here, that all the data will get encrypted, so you can't able to read any data. So for that, this 443 is using. So 3306 in the sense database. Okay, so if you want to store some login, if you want to register some user, right, so that registered data should store in some places. For that, I need the database. For here, mostly we'll use the MySQL. Okay, MySQL. This is the basic database. We have different type of database. Okay, so for that, port 3306 should be enabled. So port 53. So even your website having google.com, you are creating some domain name, abc.com, xyz.com. If you want to create that name, right, so for that name you need to maintain port 53. 161 is for the monitoring your devices over the network. I will monitor what happening in the system, what happening in all the systems, right. So for monitoring services we have 21. For sending email for 25. So this is for if you are using the Windows system. So this is if you are using, this is a Windows system, right. If you want to take the complete access of this Windows from this PC, then 338 will be help for me. Okay, so then I have a 21 and 20. This is this will help to transfer the some data. If you want to take some files from the system, another system, only file, not the complete access of the system, only if you want to access some files, right. So that time port 21 and 20 will be help you. Okay, then for port 22, if you are using the Linux system, so like this is for the Windows. So if you are using the Linux system, if you want to take the complete access of the Linux, that time port 22 will help you. Okay, port 23 mostly for the network hardwares. Okay, network hardware in the sense you have a router, you have a switches, you have a firewall, something like that. So if you want to access that device from your system, that time port 23 will help you. So for each and every usages, if you want to do some activities over the internet or network, so that time you need this port number. Okay, this one are the most commonly used port number. We can't say that only this are the port numbers we have, not like that. We have n number of port numbers. Okay, so even if you go and see that, just we are using Zoom, right? Zoom port number, because Zoom is a device that working over the internet, right? Network. Without network, there is no use of Zoom. See, then Zoom is also having some particular port number for, sorry. See here, Zoom phone is offering range of port 9000 to 999. So from this port number, it will take some port to access the Zoom. Okay, for each and every time, whatever the tool is connecting over the network, right? For each tool, there is a port number. So without port number, we can't able to connect over the network. Okay, so is there is any doubt on this? You can ask me, because someone asked about the port number to explain that. So if you have any doubts, you can ask me. Okay, I think everyone is fine. Okay, just drop the message, then I'll get a confirmations. So everyone are clear. Okay, the prerequisite is in the sense, I mean, any of you are going to take from tomorrow. If you want to read about, if you want to understand something, I mean, you want to read something clearly, you can read about the network, what is IP and what is support number, and you can read a basic file system of the Linux, and file system in the sense, in Windows we have some C drives, right? So we know there is a C drive. So you need to read what is the usage of port files, and what is the usage of Python, and what is the usage of user. This and all we need to understand. So you can read this. So usage of this, all the things. This one all the prerequisites, because when we are going to perform the penetration testing in upcoming classes, so we need to understand these things. This will help you to um, understand in that area. Anyway, I'll explain that. Okay, so if you want to learn something clearly, you can learn this and also. Okay, same like how I'm saying about C drive for the Windows, right? Same like that for Linux also, we have some file system. It's like a C drive of the Linux. You need to learn. You just don't learn that, just read. So what and all you can do with that file system, what on all the files or file systems are there, just try to understand that. That's enough. Then finding the IP of the mobile. Okay, so if you want to find the IP of the mobile, so you need to um, go to about phone. In about phone, I'll just I think I can showcase you settings. So once you get into the settings, right, so we have one second, I'll show you that. Okay, so once you get into the, you can see the about phone here. Okay, so in about phone, you can get you into that, and you have the system status information. Sorry, you have status information. So once you click on the status information, you can see the IP address here. So this is the IP address of my mobile. So even if you try on your system, you'll get the different IP. Okay. So just simple about phone, and you can go to the status information. That's it. So do we need to install VM for the tomorrow practical? So yes, we need to install the VM, but anyhow, I'll show you how to install that. So if you guys know how to install the VM, then fine, you can install, or else I will showcase you how to install that. So with the help of port number, we can't able to track it. So with the help of port number, we can, if okay, if you have a system, your system is got hacked, right? So I can able to, while doing analysis, I'll see what and all the services are accessed in your system before attack. So just I can able to understand what happened in your system. Okay, so for that we can use, I mean, for that we can use, but we can't able to track that target. So PDF notes. I'll just discuss with Shushmita about this, and I'll get back to you. How do attackers take advantage of the weakness in public Wi-Fi network? See, actually, mostly if you are using some public Wi-Fi, right? So we can't say that that is the proper Wi-Fi. Okay, so yeah, if you sit, I mean, if you go for mall, if you go for a railway station, we use some Wi-Fi, right? That time, what attacker will do? Attacker will create their own Wi-Fi, and they use some hardware cards. Okay, then only you will get a proper frequency to access that Wi-Fi. Okay, they will use some attacker, I mean, Wi-Fi pineapple something to create their own Wi-Fi. And if you connect with, I mean, sometimes you will see that okay, there is no password. We feel that okay, so there's some guy not using any not configured with any password, so even I can able to access the data. So what you will do, you will connect with that Wi-Fi and you will do some activities, right? So whatever the activities you are doing, that all the activities by monitor by that particular attacker. Okay, so we can assure that whether the Wi-Fi which you are using is a proper Wi-Fi. That's why we are saying that even if you want to use the public Wi-Fi, don't use any sensitive data. Just you can search in Google, just you use the YouTube, that is fine. But try to transfer some amount from your mobile to some, I mean, your account to some other account, right? That is completely a problem one. Okay, if because the attacker can able to monitor if you're trying to type some pins, right? Easily attacker can able to monitor that. That's why. So port number will not help to track the attacker. So IP address will help you, but not in the proper way. So IP address having some amount of power to track the target. So to find the mobile IP, just open the about phone. Then you see the status information. There from there you can able to uh, read the IP address of your mobile. So TCP and UDP differentiation, that I will come, because once just now I just give some introduction about the port number. So from tomorrow onwards, I'll show you what is the difference between TCP and UDP. That and all we'll see one by one. So in the man in the middle attack, if we use the file process port, then how could we able to restrict the attacker? See, if you are transferring some file from one system to another system, right? You need to create the password. So even the attackers doing some man in the middle, right? So you need to create some proper strong encryption. So to avoid that, and second thing is like, so you need to connect with the VPN. Okay, you should not connect in the normal Wi-Fi to transfer the data, sensitive data. That's why in most of the organizations, while connecting with their servers, while connecting with their systems, right, we'll use the VPN. Even if the attackers try to do some man in the middle attack, the attacker can't able to target my system, and they can't able to find what actually I'm trying data transactions, whatever it is, they can't able to find that. So we need to use the VPN. So mostly we are thinking that VPN will help to change my location. It's not like that. So VPN will help to transfer your data secure, not to change your location. So how computers PC catch the IP address sending by another computers? So if the user is sending some information, right? So it's like a normal courier packets. Okay, so if you want to send some post to someone, so we have something called for if name and address, everything will be there, and we have from and to address, right? So in the same way, so if I'm sending some data, so my data having some courier packets in that there is a IP and there is a system name, everything. Okay, I have mentioned from and to both. Okay, so once it's reached to the target, okay, the target will read the courier. So whether the from and to address is properly, I mean, it's a proper one. Once it is proper, then it will deliver. Otherwise, it will not deliver because even if your Wi-Fi hardware will handle that IP address and everything. Okay, that hardware will know that. So analyzing the IP address and everything. So if you want to find the nearby device IP, so you need to some malware files. Only that is the way. So because if you want to find your friends or something, right, you need to some send some link. Once they click that, you will get the IP of that system. Because that is not a publicly available system. That is like a nearby. Only that particular user can able to access that. Okay, so that you can understand when while I'm teaching the IP difference of difference between public and private IP, right? So that time you can easily able to understand that. Okay, so don't take much confusion. Simply you can understand that. So VA is like a vulnerability assessment, PT is a penetration testing. Vulnerability assessment, we use some sort of tool perform the scan. So PT is like a manual activity. We do some manual approach. So we don't have any tools to perform the activity. Just imagine like that. Okay, so anyhow, while seeing the practical, easily you can understand that. So here I just show you some differentiation. I'm not I didn't show any practical, right? That's why you guys are getting confused. But don't take too much of confusions. Anyhow, you have the practical section. That time you will understand everything clearly. Okay, as of now, I just understand the difference. That's it. Then by using the VA, if you want to do some VA activity, you need the system IP and you need the username and password of that system. And second thing is like you need to connect in the same Wi-Fi. Then only you can able to perform the VA. PT is like we will do from the completely from the attacker point. So we have only the IP. We need to do everything manually, and we need to analyze the target, and we need to try to get the complete access of the system. So that is the pro model of PT. Okay, just imagine this one. So while showing that practical, you will easily understand that. So yeah, I'll show you the port scan in VA because port scan mostly will not do in the VA. There are different types of scan. So yeah, I will just discuss. I mean, so I'll just discuss with Susmita so about this, and we'll share the notes. Okay. So I'll discuss with Sushmita about this. Okay, what on this? What is a port in? Yeah, so that's why I try to say that. So port scan in VA, I will explain that because port scan will do mostly in the PT, not in the VA. Okay, so we have an option, but will not prefer that. But I will explain that. But because so now itself, so much of confusion is there in the VA. So while showing the practical, I will explain each and every point. Then it's very easy to understand. Because everyone are asking the same question again and again. So we connect with the VPN, then our network speed is actually so most someone are having the thought about if I connected with the VPN, my networks will get increased and my network speed will get reduced. Not like that. So whatever the speed you have, the same speed will maintain. Okay. So this is because of the, I mean, if you are using the open VPN, so which is not properly configured by your organization, you are taking some random VPN from the internet, if you are trying to use that, so that time you will face some drop down, so the network will get slow. So because so much of user will access over the same VPN, so if you're connected with your organization VPN, only the limited users will use that VPN, so that time you will have the proper bandwidth and proper network speed. Okay, so it's based upon the usage. Yeah, I hope. So, mostly you guys are asking about the PT point. So I will explain that in the practical way. So, uh, just wait for 2 days. Okay, so we'll go by basic. First, we need to understand the network. Then we need to go for the PT. Okay. So once I complete the network, easily you can understand the PT. Yeah. So we can understand the PT. Okay. Just wait for some time. Okay. Yeah. So I think we can wind up the session. Shushmita, can you hear me?
Yeah, yes, sir. We can wind up for the day.
Yeah, sure.
Thank you so much. Yeah.
Yeah, thank
So,
you.
and about the materials, you can just share with me the materials which you have used yesterday and by today, sir. I'll just
Okay.
upload all those to the LMS. They can access the material from there.
Okay, just give me a time till tomorrow morning. I'll share all the details. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, no issues, sir.
Yeah,
You
sure.
can share with me, no issues.
Yeah, I'll share with you. Yeah, sure, sure.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you, sir. Thank you so
Thank you,
much
thank you.
for wonderful session. We'll meet again by tomorrow at 7 p.m. Thank you.
Yeah, sure. Thank you.
Yes, so thank you, dear students. I hope you all marked your attendance. I'm just giving a reminder. If you have not marked it, kindly mark your attendance. Okay. Thank you all for joining. We'll meet again by tomorrow. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.